deep center field. On the run is Isbell. Track, wall, gone! How about that? C.J. Kafis with a 2-run home run to center.
In the big leagues for a month, and perhaps his biggest swing so far. It's 3-2 Cleveland.
Top of the order, and Mike Yastrzemski. Pitch hit high in the air, medium deep right. Jones is under it. Ball game.
And the Guardians take 3 of 4 against the Royals. With these two teams both battling in the wild card chase, a crucial Guardians win. And C.J. Kafis, the biggest swing of his young life, put the Guardians in front in the 8th.
Chiefs.
I look forward to the challenge of playing the Eagles. Good football team, obviously, and they know us, we know them, and it should be a heck of a game. So, well, that time's yours.
I watch every game after, so you have to learn from it. I mean, it sucks that you lose the game, but in order to progress and to be better next time, you have to watch it and learn from it. And so I don't know the exact amount of times, but you watch it, and then you watch it in the off season with the team and with the coaches, and then you watch it obviously this week as well. And so they had a great game plan. They played hard and did a great job of disrupting my timing. And so I have to learn from that, find ways to get the ball out of my hand, and then when the opportunities are there, I think that's something I did miss early in the game. Is there was opportunities to make plays, and you got to make those plays, because if you don't, they're not going to allow those opportunities again.
When you're watching, is it just informational, or is it emotional, or in any way are you just kind of coldly breaking it down, or what's that feel like?
I think it's just more informational. I mean, the emotion kind of happens for about a week after the game, but I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to have failures in this league. It's about how you respond from those failures, and that's something that's important in anyone's career. But for me, I got to continue to push to be even better, so that I don't make those same mistakes whenever I get the opportunity to again.
Listen, I think the energy in the building is great. Everybody is excited to be back in Arrowhead, be back at home. The energy is good, man. The energy is good. Everybody has a positive mind frame. Philadelphia Eagles coming in the town. We still have a bad taste in our mouth from the Super Bowl, so everyone is in a good space.
Chris, the end of the game, we saw on camera, you and Drew, you guys had a few days to talk this out. What happened at the end of the game, and where are you guys now?
Same where we was before the game. Teammates, looking to get each other better.
Touchdown on an extra point could tie the game. Mahomes in the shotgun, 2 receivers left and right. Pacheco, the running back, to Mahomes' right side. Here's the snap. Mahomes pump fakes, rolling to his right, going to tuck it and run. Mahomes to the 5, to the pylon, diving into the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City. A 10-yard touchdown run for Patrick Mahomes, and the Chiefs are within 1, down 13-12 with 8:05 to go in the third quarter.
From the Los Angeles 37, Mahomes with pressure finds a wide open Kelsey. Travis Kelsey, touchdown! 37 yards for 87, and Mahomes to Kelsey strikes again against the Chargers.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is New Day with SSJ. You're listening to Sports Radio 810 WHB, and it's a Freaky Friday, Football Friday, September 12th, 2025.
Are you ready for some football?
I am ready for some football, especially after what happened last night with the Royals. A gut punch of a loss. Man, oh man. That felt like the end. The odds weren't great for them anyway. Their backs were already against the wall. But that felt like the official end. The Royals up 2-1, courtesy of Vinny Pasquantino's 30th home run of the year. 2 runs in the first, gave up 1 run in the fourth. Another terrific pitching performance from Stephen Kolek, who was acquired in the Freddie Fermin deal from San Diego. 6 2/3, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. So you feel great about how he's looked in a Royals uniform. But then John Schreiber gives it up. And now it seems like, no, we don't need that. But they give it up, a game-winning home run to C.J. Kafis, who's a reasonably promising rookie who spent about a month in the majors. It's funny, the Guardians call up rookies and then utilize them and put them in the lineup, and they don't mind that they're playing in important games. And he comes through with a big 2-run home run. And then, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this because it's time for football, but what I will call a bizarre ninth inning. And I saw someone tweet this at Randy Jazerli, who still is a great follow for any Royals fan. He said, "We've got to talk about that ninth inning being one of the dumbest innings ever. Isbell swings away 0-1, then bunts foul over the netting 0-2. So he bunts 0-2 and strikes out. You pinch hit Lofton against a righty for the catcher instead of Jensen. And the entire time, the guy that's on the team to steal bases is on first base as a pinch runner and just basically stood there for the entire inning. Best seat in the house. Standing room only. Yeah, I don't know what that ninth inning was, but I can tell you this. And I know he's had a couple of hits or two that were important, but this needs to be, we need to bookmark this and remember this. I have received my quota. I have my fill of watching Nick Lofton hit in high leverage situations. I'm good. All right, I've seen enough. That's why I wish that Jensen would have got the opportunity. Did you think Lofton had a chance in that spot? He got blown away.
Didn't feel good about it.
Well, you were right. Were you waiting for Tolbert to steal a base?
I was.
You're still waiting. Were you
taken off yet?
Were you surprised when Isbell attempted that bunt after swinging away 0-1?
That was
0-2?
That's for sure baffling.
Baffling, yes.
That was baffling.
It was just a weird ninth inning to close the show, to close the book. You know, and as Randy put it, if this is how it ends for the 25 Royals, it was fitting. They got 6 2/3 brilliant innings from a guy who is like their 8th best starting pitcher, but lose anyway because they have the worst offense in the league. Yep, there you go. It was a gut punch. So, Royals lose, and now when you look at the standings, it ain't good, people. That's why I said last night feels like the end. 5 games out now because Seattle was able to win in extra innings.
Walk-off sac fly. Now they're tied with the Astros for first place in the West.
Right. It's now officially, when you look at the wild card standings, It's Houston they have listed. And so it doesn't matter. Right now, the Royals, we'll switch it up. Royals, 5 games behind Houston, but also 3 games behind the Rangers and a game and a half behind Cleveland. So that's all. It's been a fun season. They'll play it out. They'll still play the Phillies this weekend, come home and play the Mariners, but 5 games out now.
It's a rough go.
Yep.
That's a rough go.
That was a gut punch last night. 8th inning home run, C.J. Kafis off John Schreiber. Waste Kolik's terrific start.
That is a microcosm of the season.
And then the 9th inning was bizarre, and it just ended.
Great pitching. Great pitching.
But
that trade's looking really nice.
Yeah, sure. Yep. Yes, sir.
Trying to be positive.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that'll continue to pay dividends for years to come.
Absolutely.
But last night felt like that was it. Felt like the end. But we move on to football. Let's go football. What a big weekend we've got. Big weekend in sports. Man, last night the NFL weekend started off with Green Bay dominating Washington. It's only a couple of games, but Green Bay's dominated 2 playoff teams from last year. Dominated the Lions, and last night took care of the Commanders 27-18. And so Green Bay,
tough. Looking tough.
Off to a fast start and looking very, very good.
It's a nice night on DraftKings.
And then tonight, we get to watch some college football. How about that? K-State is going to be in action, and we can talk to Stan Weber about that coming up. We'll talk to Stan about a lot of things. But you've actually got 2 Big 12 football games you can watch tonight.
We are talking about K-State.
At 6:30 on ESPN, Colorado and Houston. And Colorado always finds a way to get to play intriguing, exciting games that come down to the wire. And we'll see what Willie Fritz has done with Houston as they are off to a 2-0 start. And then at 8 o'clock on Fox, Kansas State looking to avoid a 1-3 start after their disappointing loss to Army last week. They go 2-0 Arizona. By the way, Houston is favored by 4.5 against Colorado at home. Houston's at home, 4.5. And K-State right now is the road favorite, but not by a lot. K-State favored by 1.5. So you're interested in that. You've got some Big 12 action tonight. For Missouri fans, after the euphoria of beating Kansas last Saturday, it's time to move on to Louisiana, the Ragin' Cajuns. And if you're heading down to the game or you're planning to watch the game and you've been locked into this 3 o'clock kickoff, they moved the kickoff time because of the heat. Boy, that's what I want to hear in September. I'm done with this heat, by the way.
I was pissed when I saw the forecast.
Good God, the 90s? You kidding me? I want to wear a Canelo sweatshirt tomorrow.
93.
I got to wear a hoodie in the 90s. What the hell's wrong with me? I pre-planned this.
We'll have Jeff Pinner to beat down on.
I don't need the effing 90s in September. I need football weather. I need hoodie weather. I need 60s. I need it to be very mild, and I need it to be brisk. I don't need it to be hot like that. Come on, look at the calendar. But because of the heat, they moved, and I don't know. I'm not even totally sure how much this helps, but because of the heat, they moved kickoff from 3 p.m. to noon.
Yeah, that helps.
It'll be cooler for them in the warm-ups and everything else.
Well, I mean, the hottest part of the day is usually around 4 or 5 o'clock.
It makes the difference of about 2 to 3 degrees based on my weather app. So.
Yeah, and that turf probably gets even hotter. I think that'll help.
And they get out there in the morning. And,
yeah.
Well, some people were wondering if you're going to move it. Why didn't you move it tonight? So, good question. I don't know.
Probably network. It's a network question, probably.
ESPN Plus. So
they probably had control over that.
Yeah, whatever. But Louisiana at Missouri is now at noon. If you're looking forward to watching that game,
that's good for you.
It sure is. At 3 o'clock, I was gonna have to watch it, and then because I'm going downtown early to try to beat the rush because I know Matt Rife's playing at T-Mobile Center and all hell's breaking loose downtown. So I'm going to try to slide in a little early to host the Canelo Crawford watch party at McFadden's. So if you're looking for a place to watch a fight, you could do it at McFadden's tomorrow night and watch Canelo Alvarez take on Terrence Bud Crawford. And so I was planning on getting there, early, and I was probably going to have to leave during the second half of the Missouri game, and my hope was they'd have it all wrapped up by then, but you never know in college football. But now I don't have to worry about that. I could just sit back and watch the entire game since it starts at noon now. So in my mind, I'd like to think they moved that for me and not the Heat.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, he wants to watch the whole game? Well, let's move it back a few hours. Let's move it to noon so it doesn't interfere with him leaving early to go downtown for the Canelo Crawford watch party. Thank you.
Bo did it for you because he knows how much you love him.
Oh, did you see his NIL T-shirts were released yesterday? They got some good ones. I'm buying one of those.
I knew you were.
I'm buying one of those.
Of course you are.
They look good.
Of course you are.
So you can watch a fight with me tomorrow night, and then on Sunday, man, busy weekend for me. No day offs right now. I'd like a day off, but no day offs right now. Because after I host that watch party on Saturday night, Sunday, Arrowhead Stadium, home opener, Super Bowl rematch, Philadelphia Eagles, and I'll be out there covering it with Todd Lebo. And after the game, I'll be in the locker room doing some interviews, hopefully a happy locker room after the Chiefs beat the Eagles.
Chiefs, Eagles.
But it could be a pissed-off locker room if they lose. And I would like to tell you, let me suggest to you, I would prefer the latter. I would like a happy locker room and get some good interviews and play some good sound of happy, jovial players. When I play the sound on Monday, I'll listen to this. Listen to an enthused Nick Bolton talk about the big win. Here, Jake, I caught up with Hollywood Brown about his touchdown pass. Here's what he had to say. Tyquan Thornton came up with a big 54-yard catch in the third quarter. Let's hear what Tyquan Thornton had to say about that big catch in his first game at Arrowhead as a Chief.
That is awesome.
I'm trying to speak stuff into existence.
That happens. You can do that. You can do that.
Chiefs rookie Ashton Gelati had a big sack in the fourth quarter on Jalen Hurts.
And a huge hit for a loss on Saquon Barkley.
Here's what the rookie had to say about his home debut. What else could I say?
So I read that Patrick Mahomes is trying to avoid, for the first time in his career in 9 years, a 3-game losing streak.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is amazing.
It's a stretch because when it goes the last year, but yeah, I mean it is what it is. Super Bowl game 1 and now this.
Yeah.
Here's Patrick Mahomes talking about how he was able to avoid his first career 3-game losing streak.
How are you doing? How are y'all doing?
By throwing for 288, 2 touchdowns, and running for another.
Wow, I like that. It's a good
I'm trying
line.
to get some. He's my fantasy quarterback in both leagues, and so I sure would like that. That would be good for me. Throwing 42 rushing yards, and we're happy. I'm not asking for a lot and a win. Travis Kelce pleased Swifties everywhere with his 5 catches, 64 yards, and a touchdown. See, these are all reasonable stat lines.
Yeah,
I'm not going crazy.
not over the top.
I'm not going out here and say, oh, this and that, These are all very plausible.
And they work. Hollywood Brown had a touchdown.
Yeah.
Kelce had the other touchdown.
Mm-hmm. See? Those are the kind of interviews I want to do. Talking to Bolton, and I threw Gelati in there. Who else you want me to make? Who else you want me to pretend that I'm getting ready to interview?
Karlaftis.
I already did a defensive end. Give me something else. Give me someone.
Trent McDuffie with the big pick.
Close. He doesn't really.
That's why it'd be big.
Really? You want me to do that?
Yeah. Why wouldn't? Yeah.
Trent McDuffie with a huge interception of Jalen Hurts in the fourth quarter that helped seal the deal.
Right.
Here's the Chiefs' corner on his big pick in the fourth quarter. Is that better?
Yeah, I like that. That's a good one.
Xavier Worthy was back in practice doing stuff.
That was crazy. I'm going to be honest. That was crazy.
What if he plays?
He was limited, but he was out there, which
I'm limited.
Shocked me.
Yeah, the fact that he's out there doing anything.
Right.
I don't know.
It's good news.
Well, sure it is.
Either way.
Even if he doesn't play, it's good news that he's out there and doing stuff at practice, even in a limited role.
Dancing around.
There's nothing bad about that.
No, it's great news.
He was dancing, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's great news.
See, that would be pushing it if I did a make-believe set up for an interview with him right now. I'm not doing that. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
We're just happy he's back at practice.
I'm not stupid. I'm not going to sit here and make believe he did something.
Right. That's outrageous.
People are tuning in late. What's he talking about? He's acting like the game was already played.
These are theoretical post-game interviews that Steven could possibly be doing.
I'm trying to speak them into existence because I want to do good vibe interviews after the game in the locker room. I don't want to go in there and everyone's all pissed off because they lost again. It sucks. I mean, I'll do it. You got to do it. You got no choice. But I don't want to. You want me to?
No.
Is that what you... Oh, boy, I hope Steve can go in there and everyone's all pissed off because they lost. Why would you want that?
Well,
why would you want that? You don't want that.
No, I don't.
You want me... When you get those emails...
Right.
For me sending you sound, you want it to be happy.
Yes. Monday's much better on a Victory Monday.
Jalen Royals did not practice. Xavier Worthy, limited participant. Everyone else full. And guess what? Today on this show, you, the listener, you're a full participant. FP. Yeah, boy. Or girl. I love you. Back after this on WHB. Hello there, Kansas City. Stephen St. John here for Diamonds Direct. And this weekend only. How about this? Can you believe it? I can't. Diamonds Direct, they have available Friday and Saturday. You can discover the hottest looks in fashion jewelry straight from today's biggest trends. It's the perfect time to refresh your jewelry wardrobe or find that statement piece you'll be wearing every day. They have extended collections available only today and tomorrow, and then they head back. Don't miss this chance to shop what's new, what's now, what's trending. This weekend only at Diamonds Direct, and this month at Diamonds Direct, indulge in the jewelry you've always dreamed of, with no interest until 2030. How about that? Elevate your moment, secure your legacy piece, and do it all with no interest until 2030 at Diamonds Direct, located in Leawood, across from Town Center at 119th and Row. And when you stop by Diamonds Direct, tell them SSJ sent you. Welcome back to New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Stephen St. John here with Jake Gutierrez on this Friday, September 12th, 2025. Stan Weber is on the phone. Stan, where are you?
I am in Arizona. I am getting ready for – it's a game day. I mean, last week, Friday, was a game day for the Chiefs. Today is a game day for K-State. So a lot of my brain thinks it's Saturday, getting ready for a game. Tonight, 8 o'clock Central Time, kickoff, but at the University of Arizona down here, getting ready for a ball game. So I know it's Friday morning now because I hear your voice, and I'm on the radio in Kansas City.
All right, we got lots to talk about, and so let's try to go in. Let's see, how should we do this? We'll save the Chiefs here for a little bit. We'll tackle college football right now, and so let's start with what you thought of the border war last week between Missouri and Kansas. Missouri wins the border war in Columbia. What did you think of the game?
Well, great setting, beautiful weather, really a national showcase. And I thought it was amazing how the whole country kind of caught on to the rivalry. The big theme after the game was, especially from SEC fans, like, wow, I did not realize that these teams didn't like each other, or these schools don't like each other this much. I mean, even the word hate was used out there. And, welcome to KU versus Mizzou. Okay, so it's great to have them back playing. I thought going into the game, as we talked about this, Stephen, is that, the difference in the game is that Kansas's defense is really an aggressive defense, a lot of movement, things to try to be able to put the players in position to make plays, kind of quicker guys that could get that job done. But the thickness factor, you just look out there in warm-ups or you watching the game, the thickness factor of the Missouri offense all the way to the running backs, right? Not just the linemen and the blocking unit and the tight ends, even back to the running backs. I thought the Missouri thickness would make a difference, that they would be able to continue to move the ball and out-physical Kansas. I thought that would be the difference where I said I thought Missouri would win. And I think that's what we saw in the ball game. Missouri's numbers, if you just picked up a stat sheet and hadn't had a chance to watch the game, to see the numbers that Missouri put up, almost 600 yards of total offense, it's off the charts. 500-yard games don't happen that often, and here they are cranking it out. So I thought Missouri would have the advantage. They end up with that at the end of the day. I thought all the pressure in the world was on Bo Pribula. How would he answer this opportunity to be the starting quarterback in this rivalry after he'd only played one game for Mizzou? And we thought a lot of good things when we talked about this last week, Stephen. The things that he did in game one, I projected that's real football. The passes he threw, the timing, where he threw it, that first 44-yard touchdown that he threw against Central Arkansas, those are real things that could continue on against Kansas, and they did. So, he gets an A+ for the pressure he was under playing against Jalen Daniels and the upset possibility Missouri needed to win. He played off the charts. The physicality of Missouri was different. But if you were fair and you just flipped on the TV or heard on social media, hey, this game's good, turn it on, Stephen, Kansas led in the fourth quarter. Yeah, they had that 21-6 lead early. That was shocking. But then they also led in the fourth quarter. And they also had a pass after Missouri came down and made some plays. They went right off the hands of the receiver on a great throw, which would have been a first down, and Kansas could have been back, causing Missouri more trouble. So the game was a little closer than maybe we want to end up saying, because, Mizzou's offense, what do you not like about it? But the fact is, Stephen, there were fourth down plays that weren't easy for Missouri. It wasn't a first down, second down, 8-yard plays every play. Missouri had to convert on fourth down because they didn't have their kicker out there. They thought, we're going to be going for fourth down, even inside the 10-yard line where you might take a field goal. They said, no, we're going to go for fourth down. They converted on an unbelievable pace to win the game. So, in a weird way, it was a super close game. Kansas ought to feel great about themselves, even with some mistakes. I thought Jalen Daniels would have to play a perfect game. He didn't. He didn't play the perfect game, and yet Kansas was right there. So it was a really competitive game in a lot of ways. But if you step back, Missouri's offense answered every question. They also slowed or stuffed the running game for Kansas. So there's no reason why you shouldn't feel great about Missouri going forward. But I think Kansas is sitting with this week off with a lot of confidence going into Big 12 play. They start off with West Virginia at home next week, not this week, but I think Kansas ought to feel very good about themselves, being resourceful, feisty. And, yeah, if they would have caught that pass along the sideline, it would have been hold your breath. Kansas could have actually came back and won that game at the end.
You know, there were a lot of stars to the game, but it's pretty easy for me to tell you that the biggest takeaway I had was Bo Pribula, because you didn't know, right? You didn't know what it was going to be like when he faced some adversity. He had that fumble, and I'm thinking, oh, boy, now how's he going to react? And he was nails. I mean, some of those throws, like you said, the fourth down conversions, he ends up 30 of 39 for 334 yards and 3 touchdowns, and all we talked about was he can run, he can run, he can run. He can throw, too. And now that's on film, and teams are going to have to respect that, and that'll open up opportunities for him to run when they need him to, because they have two pretty damn good running backs. And so I know you pay close attention to quarterbacks. I was really impressed with what I saw from him as a passer.
Absolutely. I know the reputation, and that's what we had to go off of a little bit, because he was a specialty quarterback last year running the ball for Penn State, and they're playing what they hope is national championship level football. So he's played under pressure. He knows what winning's about and excellence. So mentally, as a veteran player, there's no doubt what he can bring to the table in my mind. Yeah, you could say he could run. That was easy, the reputation. But when he went out on the field, I thought that I was more impressed with his ability to throw the football. Like, forget the reputation. I think he's a passing quarterback. His ball is easy to catch. He throws with a good spiral. He flicks his wrist and feels comfortable in the pocket. He can move in the pocket and still throw the football. But his decision-making is number one. Like, it doesn't take him long to say, oh, I recognize that this dig route is open. Oh, the corner route is open. He doesn't sit there and wonder and then have a great arm. He has that anticipation. And anticipation and accuracy are the things that make quarterbacks really great when you get pressed all the way to the NFL. Now, he's not playing in the NFL now, so you got room to do some other things. But I was very impressed with that in the first game. And when we were talking last week, I go, oh, man, he's got unbelievable pressure to have his first FBS true opponent to be Kansas and learn about all this history that he moved into. He's like the rest of the SEC, like, what? What? It is life and death and more? Here we go. But Stephen, right now you should have no doubt. I mean, he's done it 2 games in a row, and it is a pattern. This is just how he plays. So I absolutely think he's a passing quarterback who obviously deserves credit for saying he could scramble and cause some havoc that way. But I'm very impressed with his throwing game. What part of it are you not impressed with? The quick decision when there's a lot of pressure and the line's not doing a great job or there's a blitz, he's calm and makes the throw. He's throwing the ball to the sideline, short passes, swing passes, screen passes, all that. But he's also throwing the deep ball, that first post pattern I talked about against Central Arkansas, and it just continued. When was the ball not thrown pretty much on the upfield shoulder, in the hands, easy to catch to the Missouri receivers? It was hard-pressed for me to see in 2 games that he's had that. And when he fumbled, I mean, you talk about the biggest challenge that you could ever imagine for a new starting quarterback at a new school in this transfer portal era. Stephen, when he is getting tackled in his lower body and his body is falling and the ball is gone, that is like a movie in slow motion. You're falling and I got to recover that fumble, except for there's a guy laying on me. No chance. And then it bounced right to the Jayhawk. And when Missouri, you were there, Stephen, the shock that Missouri had just ripping down the field and getting after it, you're like, let's go. And all of a sudden, Kansas is ahead by 2 touchdowns, and you just fumbled the ball to them. I mean, when you walk over the sidelines, your guts, your brain capability to come back and bounce back is really going to be pressed. And he and the whole team, Eli Drinkwitz, the whole team, I give them all credit, but especially Pribula, to have that ball fumbled, that seemed like 2 days worth of play when that ball left his hands to Kansas having a touchdown to the TV timeout, kickoff, and you go back out in the field and every fan is in shock going, what the heck, this new quarterback? what's going to happen. So you were there, Stephen. You know the emotions, and I assume there was more roller coaster than what is going to be given credit now. It's pretty easy when it's all said and done and that last touchdown run to go, oh, yeah, Missouri's thicker. They're home. They're favorites. They did their work. Pavula stepped up. That's one of our questions. But really, Kansas was right there, leading 21-6, scoring in the fourth quarter. I mean, I don't know. What was your emotion? I was thinking about you because there was a chance that Kansas was going to pull that game out.
It was a wonderful game. And, look, you're right. It was up in the air in the fourth quarter, but I had a very strong confidence that as long as Mizzou ended the game with the ball in their hands, they would have won the game. But they also they put it away because they got to stop because of a drop, and also because Lance Leipold decided to punt, angering many Kansas fans on 4th and 7 from his own 28, and that gave Mizzou the opportunity to put the game away with that Jamal Roberts touchdown run. And so then it was time to celebrate. But, yeah, it was a great college football game, a tremendous atmosphere, and I'm looking forward to Chapter 2 next year in Lawrence. We'll take a break. We've got Stan Weber on the phone. We'll be right back after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Your season, your shot. The NFL season's rolling, and every touchdown can bring you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. What's the latest line for the Chiefs and the Eagles? Are the Chiefs still a home dog, Jake Gutierrez? Don't get that opportunity very often. Look, lines and odds are subject to change, but it's going to be very interesting where that settles between the Chiefs and the Eagles for Sunday at Arrowhead.
Still 1.5 points are going to the Chiefs.
Let's see what happens between now and kickoff. And look, new customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, score over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 810WHB. That's code 810WHB to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first $5 bet. Plus, over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, Kansas only. Eligibility restrictions apply. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Men, the summer is here. Longer days, warmer nights, and romance in the air. Intimate dinners, walks on the beach, dancing in the moonlight. But if you have erectile dysfunction, you know it can ruin romance, both for you and the one you love. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And if you have ED, don't let another summer go by without getting treated.
Let me tell you something. I laughed when I saw that. I said, I got to send this to my friends Todd and Jake because I laughed for about 15 minutes. Does that make me a bad person?
No.
That was a funny video, wasn't it?
Well, I wanted to see the full
If
link.
you get that, would you let me know?
I'd search for it.
Yeah, well, so I'll, I
mean,
if there's a cost, I'll pay it.
You gave me a clip, and I was like, wow, I'd like to watch this whole movie.
That's a good trailer. I mean,
it was
the definition of a good trailer. Let's talk football before we get in deep trouble.
Guy had an Eastern accent, like he's from the Northeast.
Yeah, that's right. Different casting.
Yeah.
But you know what? I like it.
Diverse.
Let's rejoin Stan Weber. Okay, we talked about the border war, and now we'll talk about Kansas State because as Stan reminded us, this is game day. And you've actually got two interesting Big 12 games to watch tonight at 6:30. And Colorado's always involved, and some hell's going to break loose in this game. It'll come down to the fourth quarter. You can pretty much depend on that. They don't always win, but they are usually involved in some entertaining football. And so we get a chance to watch Colorado take on Houston, and Houston is at home favored by 4.5. That's at 6:30. And then at 8 o'clock, Kansas State at Arizona. That's where Stan is. K-State favored by 1.5 on the road against 2-0 Arizona. And that's the beauty of this. We really don't know much about Arizona, and we'll find out tonight. But Stan, of course, K-State coming off the disappointing home loss to Army. So just give me your thoughts about what happened against Army and how they could bounce back and get and let me get this right, a big win against a conference foe in a non-conference game. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You've got to get this technicality correct.
Thank you.
This 2-year contract that K-State had with Arizona trumps out the new 16-team Big 12 that got together last year. So he said, okay, you guys got a contract, rather than saying, hey, why don't we make that a conference game? They said, no, let's keep it a non-conference game. So we played through this routine last year. There were at least one other and maybe two other Big 12 opponents going against each other last year that were called non-conference games. I haven't heard if there's another one this year. I think we might be the only one. But, yes, K-State hosted Arizona last year on a Friday night, and K-State was able to pull away and win that game. It was tied 7-7 at half. Arizona at that time was on a 9-game winning streak going back to the year before, and a bowl win, the Alamo Bowl over Oklahoma. You might remember that since you hang out with Todd Lebo.
Right.
Arizona was on a roll. They'd come into the new season with their new head coach and won a couple of games. And so they are on a 9-game winning streak when K-State played them last year, and K-State completely separated in the second half. Avery Johnson ran for over 100 yards. That's the only game he's ever run for over 100 yards since he's been a starting quarterback. Dylan Edwards took a punt return back for a touchdown, the only one they had last year. And Dylan Edwards, as you know, is a big factor for K-State because he tried to punt return the first one of the year and got hurt when he muffed it, lost the ball to Iowa State over in Ireland, and he has not played yet. Still questionable. Is there any chance he could possibly play? But K-State's missed Dylan Edwards. So they get together as non-conference foes on a Friday night again, and there's a lot to be learned because K-State has played a murderer's row type of schedule, the kind of schedule that was going to be super challenging with the trip to Dublin. You've heard it quoted. Look at Florida State, for example. 2 years ago, Florida State, Stephen, was undefeated in the regular season, and their quarterback got hurt. You remember this history? This is a while ago.
Sure.
Quarterback got hurt, so they got held out of the college football playoff. And there was a lot of controversy, like, hey, we're undefeated, and then the college football playoff committee said, hey, we only had 4 teams. Stephen, remember when we only had 4 teams?
Yes.
They said, you can't come here without your quarterback. So Florida State was great, right? They come next year, they're going to go to Dublin, Ireland to play as a favorite, ranked in the top 15 in the country against Georgia Tech. They lose barely to Georgia Tech, and their season turns upside down. They finish 2-10. So now you're wondering, well, is this coach in the hot seat? Should we fire him? Guess who's played as good as football as anybody in 2025 the next season, Stephen? Florida State. It's like the Dublin jinx was all over them, and that was talked about going into the season, that win or lose, no teams have really come out and had good seasons after playing in that game in Ireland. Nebraska lost and had a bad season, and Northwestern beat them the year before. Northwestern won only one game all year as the winner. So Iowa State's bounced back, but K-State right now had a big run where you go to Ireland, you play Iowa State, a team that's really had K-State's number. You bounce back. You don't take a week off, Steven. You come right back and play North Dakota and then Army. Well, the sequence isn't that North Dakota is a great team. It's the fact that Army plays a whole different style of football. It is nothing like what K-State was going to see earlier in the year or what they're ever going to see after. It is a special monster that you've got to deal with. And it's like being around a poisonous snake that, I think, I can avoid getting hit by that snake, but if they get me, I might lose this battle. And that's what happened. K-State dominated the first half. They had 4 possessions, Stephen, and I went into the game saying, what is the biggest key of all? Value possessions. I said, you're not going to get 11 or 12. In the pregame show, Stephen, I said, you might only get 8 possessions this game. You better value the possessions you get. That Army in the last, from 16 to 24, had allowed opponents to run only 57.6 plays per game, Stephen, lowest in the country. They keep the ball from you. So K-State scored 3 of their first 4 possessions. They led 13-0, and Army's offense just could not get going. So it looks really good. I mean, it's a tough battle. But all of a sudden, Army in the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds put a, 15-play drive together? It's unbelievable they can run that many plays in that short a time and not be, I guess it's a 13-play drive. But they go and they score, it's 16-play drive. They go and score a touchdown right before the half. It's 13-7, and then they just grab the game. Do you realize K-State got the football in the second half and ran 4 plays? First down pass, then get stopped and punted. After running those 4 plays, K-State did not snap the ball until there were less than 3 minutes left in the game. Now, they had a kickoff return for a touchdown, so that counts as like a possession. And then Army was so scared of the K-State kickoff return team that they were going to squib kick it, okay? So from the left hash, the kicker goes, I'm going to squib this thing. I am going to hit a line drive, and it's going to bounce, and we're not going to go against the normal K-State kickoff return, right? He accidentally smashes it right off Mikey Bergeron, and the ball bounces back to 5 Army players who are just leaving on their kickoff coverage team, and they get the ball back. So Kansas State's offense still sits on the side, and Army just drives and drives and drives. K-State ends up snapping the ball hardly at all in the game. They had 43 offensive plays all game long, and the last time they had that few plays was, guess what, 2019 against Navy, okay, same style of football, in the Liberty Bowl. K-State had only 41 plays that day. So Army just took control of the game, won the game. Now, what does that mean to K-State? They've had a rough start. They barely beat North Dakota. They're 1-2. They're going against a very, very confident Arizona team that's 2-0, but has blown out both the teams, had no adversity. Everything's gone well with their 2 home games, Stephen. Arizona has not been tested, but, man, they are excited about playing K-State after losing to them last year. And K-State is limping in with a 6-day turnaround. How is this going to go? The thing for K-State is going to be you have to create adversity for Arizona, and you've got to create momentum for yourself saying Army's game has nothing to do with the rest of the football season. You're never going to play a team like Army again. They got you, okay? But that wasn't the real football that everyone else plays. They should not think of that as a loss, but it is. I get it. Will they be able to flush that and get back to playing normal football? It's going to be hard game tonight. Wildcats against Wildcats.
Jake City guarantees the Wildcats are going to win. He's a real smartass, though, Stan. So we'll find out more.
Arizona? Yeah. Arizona fans are like, "What's up? We played the Purple Wildcats last week,
right?
Weber State. My spelling of Weber, and they call it Weber State. Okay, they played the Purple Wildcats, and this week they play the Purple Wildcats again as K-State comes in.
Well, we'll talk more about that after this. We've got Stan Weber on the phone. Back after this on WHB. Stephen St. John here. Let me tell you more about my friends from Diamonds Direct. Angie, the GM, David, the store manager, and, of course, my man Tom. They're great people at Diamonds Direct, and they are ready to help you, and they will treat you like a VIP. And that's what they do for me. And that's why I go to Diamonds Direct whenever I'm ready to make a wonderful purchase for my wife or my daughters or anyone in my family. And look, right now, this month at Diamonds Direct, how about this? No interest until 2030. Imagine saying yes to a brilliant engagement ring, a diamond upgrade, or that iconic piece of fine jewelry and enjoying it now while paying over time, interest-free, no interest until 2030 this month at Diamonds Direct. And this weekend only, discover the hottest looks in fashion jewelry straight from the biggest trends. They have an extended collection available only today and tomorrow, then they head back. So go out to Diamonds Direct this weekend in Leawood, across from Town Center, off 119th and Row. And when you go to Diamonds Direct, tell them SSJ sent you.
Speaking to the obvious, the penalties, that can't happen, and so that's where we're at. We've made it loud and clear. Juwan knows that, he understands it. It's something that, especially in a moment like that in that game when things are a little bit off kilter now with the personnel, and you start to move the ball, you have a couple positive plays, and then boom, a penalty or a second. So 3 penalties and a hold, not good enough. He knows that. When there's no one hiding from it, he's not hiding from it. He understands.
New Day with SSJ is presented by Walker Medical Linen Services, locally owned and operated. HLAC certified to the highest